Welcome to Simply Liminal. My name is Stacy. This is my daily 2-card reading for Monday, April 29th, 2024. This week we are working with the Wisdom of Avalon Oracle. This is day 5, I guess. How quickly things go. We're closing out the month of April pretty quickly, and really getting closer to closing out our week of readings with this deck. So one of the reasons that I chose this deck, and initially this was not the deck I planned on using this week, but it occurred to me that I was making a wrong choice and I wanted to use this deck instead. It was very clear. And one of the reasons is because Beltane falls at the end of this 7-day period of readings for me. A Beltane or May Day is kind of one of the classic turns of the wheel in the Celtic wheel of the year, where you look at like the solstices and the equinoxes as your quarter holidays, and then you have your cross quarter holidays, and Beltane is one of those. And it's considered the beginning of summer, kind of the middle between the spring and the high summer, you know, high spring, high summer. So that's kind of the energy around Beltane, is one of those times a year that classically the veil is considered to be very thin, where you might feel like you're getting a lot of dreams that are related to your ancestors, or you feel like your ancestors are coming to visit you. The other time of year where we see this a lot is in the fall. Kind of the gateway to winter is at Halloween or Samhain. That is that turn of the wheel where the veil feels very thin again. So I associate the idea and the concept of Avalon as being a time when the veil is very thin as well. And I thought, and as Colette says, that when the veil thins, it's a good time to work with the misty and magical Isle of Avalon. The mists of Avalon seem to fit the concept of the veil thinning or waxing and waning as it becomes a little foggy or a little less foggy, and you see different things in that. She also says that Avalon is a symbolic place of sacred mystery. She says if we close our eyes, we can find it. And these oracle cards can help guide us into this mystical and magical realm of Avalon, where messages await for us and guidance awaits for us there. So, as always, in my weekly readings, I do a 2-card reading at different times. Like I'll be coming up soon on doing the Beltane reading, which will actually be a 7-card reading. That's what I focused on this year for those for those holidays. For May 1st, I'll be doing a 3-card reading. There's so many different options for yourself. Every day you can just pull 1 card to help for guidance, you know, for you if you wish. But for this channel, I settled on a 2-card reading. And the 2 things that I look at, ooh, that was kind of a crappy shuffle. The 2 things that I look at are the energy card, which is the energy, intention, or the energy is the force that's directed towards us from the world, from the universe, from our environment. And then the focus card is the intention, the effort, or the response that we put back into that energy. So let us look at our energy for today. Well, that's kind of unclear to me. Energy. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. Focus. There we go. Much clearer. This card is interesting to me. I feel as though, speaking of like the veil or liminal spaces, I feel like the deck went to the same card both times, but I usually like to slide my deck, and whichever one remains on top, that's the one I go to. Both times I had this over here, which is interesting because that's kind of in the middle, feels very like when the veil is thinning, but we can't quite see through it yet. So I'm curious to see what this card is going to have in store for us, because my gut instinct tells me it was the same card both times. I just needed to trust my intuition more and know that this was the message for us, which I did on the second time I attempted. So, as always, before I do these readings, I open a circle of light and love and protection around myself that extends to these readings and whoever watches these readings. So please know that you're protected in them. Please also know that no matter what the timestamp on the video says, that I believe that whenever you see the reading, there is a message for you in it. There is something there for you. So let's dive into this reading. I'm really curious about what this card is now. So our energy for the day. We have the Swan. This is one of those beautiful mystical cards, and I always love it when it comes up. So the message on the card, let me pan down here so you can see the whole thing. The message on the card is transformation and trusting the psychic gifts. So this is a day of powerful energy for us. Transformation. But I will say that transformation isn't always smooth. It isn't always pretty, and sometimes it can be a little bumpy. Transformation, kind of as we think of a butterfly, you know, like we have the larva, the worm ends up in a cocoon and then transitions to the butterfly. We also have the swan, which brings to mind the story of the ugly duckling. You know, we have this terribly ugly duckling, hideous. All of a sudden, this kind of homely little duckling that didn't really fit in with the rest of its pack or siblings or brood turns into this most gorgeous, gorgeous swan. So transformation can be uncomfortable. It sometimes isn't pretty, but it's always what we need. So let's look at this card. It's also the number 12 card, and 12 is a very mystical number. It's kind of like the end of a completion of cycles kind of card. So let me read what Colette has in here for us. Okay, and remember the message is transformation and trusting the psychic gifts. She says, this card represents a transformation from one state to another, from the ugly duckling to this beautiful swan. This signals a period of growth that will ultimately be life-changing. The swan says that you may change so much that you may not recognize yourself in the end. Most important, it is time to honor and love this change within yourself, for then only the most beautiful reflection will shine back at you from the mirror of your life. The swan says, dive in. You will love who you become. It also reminds you that you need to trust your intuition and your psychic gifts and guide you as you go through the process of wonderful and ultimate change. The swan is the companion of the high priestess. We've seen her earlier in the week, didn't we? Was that 2 days ago now? I think so. Sorry, gotcha. The swan is the companion of the high priestess, who has the ability to part the mist that served to separate Avalon from the physical world. The swan can dive into the lake on her behalf and find the treasure that human eyes cannot see. The swan reminds you to see with your heart and listen with your spirit, and the whole world will be magically transformed. So wow, very powerful day, very powerful energy. Transformation is coming, whether it's big or little. This is the energy that is around us today. I don't know what it's going to mean for me. I don't know what it's going to mean for each of you, but change is part of life, you know, and we have to trust in the process and know that we will emerge more beautiful, more serene, more intuitive, more magical than we were before. So let's look at our focus card and know how we're going to play on this energy. We have burden. That's an interesting one. Every time this card comes up, it's kind of like, ugh, what does it mean? This is one of the sacred journey markers, and so it's telling us about something along our path. So burden, there's a flag up here above the word, and we really look like we're kind of in a grove of trees. It looks like there's a new tree shooting up in some old trees. So let me get to this page and see how this burden energy is going to play off what feels like the most magical energy possible when we get the swan. So this is a longer, just to show you, this is a longer read here, but I'm going to read it all because I think it's important and I think it can help us isolate what we need to take out of this message. So, what burdens are you carrying on this part of the journey? Are you transporting those of others out of generosity or codependency? Is this burden so heavy that it slows you down? This marker asks you to stop and look at your responsibilities, your commitments, and all that you bring with you on your journey. Are you clinging to an unhealthy relationship out of fear? Are you taking on the burden of others to prevent them from getting hurt? Do you know what this enables? Do you know that this enables others to avoid learning their life lessons and doesn't really help at all? It doesn't help you and it doesn't help them. That's the message I'm getting from Spirit. Back to the book. Drawing this marker encourages you to release others to their own path. It may also be a time for you to ask if you are helping because you like to be needed. If the answer is yes, then the message is truly to let go of this burden, for it's born of self-centeredness. Release the burden of others to the divine. They also have their own angels and guides, as you do. Trust in the divine plan for all. On the sacred path to Avalon, you must be aware that you pack all the essential wisdom tools that you will need to chart your course. Integrity, kindness, compassion, discernment, discretion, faith, forgiveness, trust, and love are but some of them. Once your tools are counted, see if the rest of what you are hanging onto is appropriate. This is a time to leave behind any unnecessary burdens and know that you have the strength to carry what is yours. So really the answer is in the card message itself. To transform, we need to release our burdens. We need to look at what burdens us, even if we don't really realize how much we might carry for other people's, all the things that we do because we think they need us to do them, that maybe they won't be able to get it done without us. We need to look at that and release those things. In releasing those things, transformation can come to us. And not just to us, but transformation can come to those people as well. Wow, this is a beautiful day, beautiful, powerful message. Suddenly, everything seems so clear. If we can release our burdens, we can transform, and the people around us can be allowed to transform as well. And ultimately, transformation is a part of life and where we're all trying to get to and trying to grow. We're trying to become more. We're trying to become something better so we can help other people grow and transform and transition and become better. So those people can do the same thing for the next group of people down the road. And we can all do that by looking within ourselves and releasing some burdens, because those burdens hold us back and potentially they hold the people around us back as well. So wowzers for a message. I hope you found this reading helpful. I hope you connected with it in some way. I would love to hear what you're thinking about this card deck, about these readings. I'm so grateful to you guys for the likes. I'm so grateful to you for the new subscribers. Welcome. Sorry, my phone is ringing. Potential spam is what it says. So that's a burden I need to release in my life. Know that we're all in the process of moving, gaining, becoming something more. I'm very, very moved by that. Several years ago, I took a course, and one of the things was, well, the goal is to become more. And I didn't really get that at that time, but now it feels like such a part of myself. I do want to become more so I can help others become more, and we all can grow and become more. Anyways, I'm grateful, speaking of becoming more, I'm grateful for more people that are watching these readings. I'm grateful for the subscribers I'm getting. Thank you so much. Welcome to the channel. Hello to all of you who have been with me for a while. I am grateful to you as well. So thankful for you all. I hope you all have a wonderful, blessed day. This is a really interesting reading today. Look at our burdens. Look at the things that hold us back. Look at how we may hold other people back unknowingly by just trying to help, how that limits them and ourselves. If we release all of those things, we all can transform. The other message for the swan was trust your psychic gifts. And by using your psychic gifts, I think you'll realize the things that are, burdening yourself or other people. I know a couple of things that I do that I could release that kind of are a burden, not just to myself, but to others. And we would all probably be better off for it. So we'll see how this day plays out. What a lovely reading, though. I'm super, super excited for the day. So thank you again for visiting Simply Liminal with me. My name is Stacy. Have a wonderful day.